I think a lot of people expected this game right here to be remembered for years to come as the Micah Parsons game. In case you've been living under a rock, Micah Parsons got traded from the Dallas Cowboys to the Green Bay Packers in exchange for multiple first-round picks, with the Packers seemingly getting their edge rusher of the future and one of the best pass rushers in football after contract talks between Parsons and Jerry Jones, the Cowboys, stalled. This game right here between the Packers and the Cowboys was the first time that Parsons was coming back to Dallas in an opposing uniform, and it felt like this game had a chance to be remembered in NFL history for that, and for being a potential insane revenge game, on what Deion Sanders did to the Falcons in his first game back in Atlanta as a member of the 49ers. However, I can safely say that while this game will be remembered years later throughout NFL history, it won't be because of anything Parsons did or didn't do during the game. Instead, it will be remembered for being one of the most bizarre ties you'll ever see, all because this man right here, Matt LaFleur, decided to be a complete deer in headlights. LaFleur's indecisiveness, not Micah's return, will be the lasting legacy of this game and one of the highest scoring ties of all time. And I can't say it isn't well deserved. Here's the situation. It's 2nd and 13, and the Packers have the ball at the 15-yard line with 28 seconds left, down by 3. The Cowboys have no timeouts, so at this point, everything's in your control with regards to how you want to play this. You can play for the tie and just walk away with 3 points. Or you can go for the win and risk it all and try and get something. So being in field goal range, you think they're going to the end zone here and trying to win the game, right?
Within 13, 28 seconds to go. Cowboys bring 4. Love outlets it. Wilson is stopped in the field to play at the...
Okay, that play seemed pretty stupid on the surface, unless you're playing for the tie, seeing as it doesn't accomplish anything otherwise. So the Packers are just going to play for the tie, spike the ball on 3rd down, and send Brandon McManus on the field to tie it. And
goal attempt here. Down to 7 seconds left.
Wait, they're calling an actual play? They're calling a play? Then why would you call that last play? What the heck did that last play accomplish if they're actually trying to reach the end zone and go for the win with no timeouts?
As Love takes the snap.
Oh my God, they're not going to have any time left. They're not going to have any time left. It's like Matt Eberflus is coaching the Packers. He is the defensive coordinator of the Cowboys, after all. It's like he swapped bodies Freaky Friday style with Matt LaFleur. They're going to lose this game and get nothing out of it. They're actually going to lose.
Game right here. It's better be quick. Love to the end zone. It is broken up with 1 second to go.
How the heck do they have time left? How on God's green earth do they have time left? That was so bad. That was so freaking bad. That was atrocious. Nothing about that sequence made any sense. I can't believe you're going to be able to get away with some points on this. Just kick the field goal so I can do the intro.
For the tie, 34. And this one is good, and this one ends.
Weirdest tie ever. Welcome to Dumb Decisions. Before I break down what happened here, this whole series is about taking an in-depth look at decisions made during games that were clearly awful from the start. This isn't something look bad in hindsight. Rather, this is something look awful almost immediately. These are moves where your gut instinct tells you right away that there is no way this can possibly work. And sure enough, your gut instinct was smarter than that of an NFL head coach. And for this one, we're going to take a look at the mind of Green Bay Packers head coach, Matt LaFleur. Remember when the Packers were 2-0, when their defense was playing lights out, and when everyone was seemingly booking their ticket for the Super Bowl? Yeah, so much for that. How much things have changed in just a short period of time? Because if you told a Packer fan, after their Week 1 demolition against the Lions and their Week 2 thrashing against the Commanders on Thursday night, that the following 2 weeks against the Browns and the Cowboys, they wouldn't win either game, I don't think they would have believed you. Yet, here we are, thanks in part to the Packers coaching this situation like absolute morons. Matt LaFleur's in-game management skills have always come under fire, and I've done my fair share of episodes on this man in the past. But outside of the debacle at the NFC Championship, kicking the field goal down by the end zone in an 8-point game with 2 minutes to go, and Tom Brady on the other side, this might be his worst decision yet, because nothing about this made any sense. So with that being said, let's take a look at why I don't even know what to call it, as I'm just waving my hands around gesturing something, is a really bad idea. I really don't know where to start, because everything about this operation was so atrocious. Most of these dumb decisions, it's just one thing that I hone in on, but I don't even know what to say to this, because every second was somehow worse than the next. It's like if you're grading an assignment about the history of the American Revolution, and the kid gives you an essay that's written in crayon, that's misspelled, that talks about Barack Obama and Taylor Swift, and that starts with the line, "I'm sorry, but ChatGPT is down right now." Like, where do you even start? Which part of this do you attack first? I guess we need to start with a play call on 2nd and 13. You can't go over the middle of the field. The reason why is simple. You don't have any timeouts left, and it's 2nd down. If it's 1st down, fine, because you can spike it on 2nd down and then call an actual play on 3rd down. If you have timeouts, fine, because you can just burn one. But if it's 2nd down in this spot with no timeouts, you cannot go over the middle of the field unless it is past the sticks. If you go over the middle, you're not going to have enough time to run an actual coordinated play on 3rd down. You're going to be all out of sorts with a chance to get called for a false start, or illegal shift, or illegal motion, or something along those lines to get a 10-second runoff, ending the game, or no one's going to be on the same page, and the play is going to be busted. Either that, or you'll have to spike it on 3rd down, which sucks for obvious reasons. You get the idea. There is no way that this ball can go over the middle of the field unless you're throwing it at the sticks, or unless you're getting into the 5-yard line and saying that you want 1 or potentially 2 shots from the 5 to win it. Which raises the obvious question. What the heck was this play call? Remember, this is coming off of a timeout on the previous play after Matthew Golden was tackled for a loss of yards. So it's not like LaFleur had no say in this, and Jordan Love was just doing whatever he wanted. This is what was drawn up. They had time to think this over. This is what was legit, honest to God, drawn up. I'm going to pause it here as Love is going through his progressions. Look at where Love's eyes are. The first read is to his tight end, Tucker Kraft, over the middle of the field at the line of scrimmage. He eventually throws it to his second read, his running back, who is 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage and nowhere near the sidelines. What does this accomplish? You don't need the yards to get into field goal range, obviously. You're already in range. You need to go to the end zone or to the sidelines. And coming off of a timeout, you're calling a play that accomplishes neither of those things. Your first read, the primary target, is running a pointless route. And the second read, the secondary target, is also running a pointless route. It's nauseating. This is the equivalent of drawing a play on the sidelines of a basketball game to get a 2-pointer with 2 seconds left when you're down by 3. This play accomplishes nothing. This concept genuinely accomplishes nothing. If you're calling this play, your goal is to play for the tie. Your goal is to walk out of here with half a win so that the clock keeps running and Dallas can't touch the ball again and Brandon Aubrey can't win it with his legs from 90 yards out or whatever his range is at this point. If you want to call it like that, because on 2nd down and 3rd down, if the pass falls incomplete, the Cowboys have a chance to get the ball back and kick a field goal, fine. If you want to do that, fine. If you want to play for the tie, go for it. But then, if you're playing for the tie, why are you not spiking the ball on 3rd down? Why are you calling a play? Why are you having the guys walk back to the line in slow motion? If you're playing for the tie, you call a play on 2nd down to keep the clock running, and you spike it on 3rd down with 5 seconds left so that the last play of the game is Brandon McManus lining up for a field goal. If you're playing for the win, you call a play on 2nd down that goes to the end zone or the sideline. And you call a play on 3rd down that goes to the end zone or the sideline. But why are you trying to do both? You can't be aggressive and conservative at the same time. You can't play for the win and the tie at the same time. There was no plan here. And that's what's so unbelievably frustrating about LaFleur, and how this game ended. He didn't have a plan. The Packers are insanely lucky that the ball landed out of the back of the end zone with 1 second left and that the time magically didn't expire in what felt like the longest second in Texas history since the Texas-Nebraska Big 12 championship all those years ago. There was no urgency to get back to the line and call a play. You had all the urgency to score a touchdown by calling something on third down. There was all the desire to play for the tie based on the second down call. Yet none of the desire to play for a tie by risking the possibility of time running out on third down and risking the possibility of a running clock penalty or the ball not landing before the clock hit triple zeros. I can't figure out the strategy here for the life of me. Are you playing to win? Are you playing to tie? Because if you want to win, then win. If you want to tie, then tie. But if you play to win and tie simultaneously, you're likely going to lose. And that's what almost happened here. And what's even more insane, and what I alluded to earlier, is that all of this came off of a timeout. Yeah, all of this came after Love and LaFleur had a chance to talk to each other. You would think they would be on the same page and would have communicated something during the timeout about what the game plan was. But apparently not, because no one knew what was going on. I know LaFleur said after the game in the post-game press conference that there were clearly some communication issues at the end. But come on, how can there be? How do you not know what you're doing here when you had a chance to stop the clock and go over it all? Like, look at the urgency, or lack thereof, with the players as they're getting back to the line. Some of them are jogging. Some of them aren't even set right away. Like, did they practice this at all? I don't even know whether to call this a dumb decision or not, because that implies that a decision was made. And I don't think a decision was made here. I think this was just everyone winging it and crossing their fingers and hoping for the best. Because any decision-making process at all, legitimately, any decision-making process would have done the exact opposite of what the Packers did. It would have been consistent, and Matt LaFleur was not consistent with his logic here. Either show urgency in getting back to the line and try legit play without the risk of the clock hitting zero, or show no urgency and spike it and play for the tie and the field goal. But to show no urgency and call a play for a touchdown? I don't get it, man. I just don't get it. So what did we learn from all of this? Other than the fact that tie games are really freaking weird? It's important to have a plan. Quite simply, it's important to have a plan. If you are both aggressive and conservative at the same time, then it's going to look really dysfunctional, really disorganized, and really freaking bad. If you're trying to win a game, then paying no attention to the clock and calling plays as if the clock was an afterthought is not the best idea. If you're trying to tie the game, then calling plays that have a high risk of resulting in the clock running out on you is not the best idea. And if a tie is like kissing your sister, then Matt LaFleur coached this game like Sean Kingston and Justin Bieber, calling it like an eeny, meeny, miny, mo lover who was indecisive and couldn't decide. Because when all these elements are in play, you can't exactly be surprised when this play backfires. Talk about a dumb decision. Check out our live streaming schedule for the next few days. We're live every single day on this channel, whether we're covering a sporting event or playing GeoGuessr or just taking your requests. So make sure you like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a single time that we go live and so that you can join this community. Also, thanks to all our members and our Patreon supporters who get exclusive perks like their name at the end of each video, members-only Q&A streams, and cool emojis to use on videos and during streams. See how you can join this community and become a member or a Patreon member by clicking the link in the description below.